remarks. Indeed, the practice of this is also the Chief Executive Officer of Blue Bats Company Limited, Dr. Charles Ibe, will be taking the new graduates on the legal issues in veterinary practice. Please may I welcome Dr. Charles Ibe for his address.
Yeah, thank you, Vice Chancellor, and heavily represented by Norman. And we all know what Norman means. Yes, that last year, there are not less than 3,000 universities. If it's not here, it might be elsewhere. I don't want to play, I don't want to seem to replay your politics. It can be elsewhere, but I wish you well. I acknowledge my second calling. Like I said, last year I was here. This year again I am here. I think we should tell the Faculty of Vet Medicine of Micheal to leave me alone. Because I have other things I can do. Part of my strategy last year I scratched out their menu, but this year I'm going to eat into their menu. And as I'm eating into their menu, they are going to take a lot of pills. After that bills, they will know whether to bring me here or not next time. I think I'm on the process of freeing myself. When I was campaigning to be a president, let me just go to the Laros and my primary. I believe that after some time, vets have been produced from classrooms. And from today, as of today, you know that there are some vets that are produced from the bedroom. If you ask me how, ask Dr. Ellis, whose son is on one of the, is a graduate today, and Dr. Ogo. And we're going to have more coming because we have a hilarious profession. We have a profession that we call our own. We have this is a part of the expanding process in the profession. I am told to work on legal issues. If I'm going to talk about legal issues, for those of you who know me, even yesterday I spoke for almost 2 hours in the pre-oath conversation. It's going to be, it's a compendium because we have various legal issues. But the only thing, because I am constrained to speak on that time, I will just scratch on it. But while scratching on it, ladies and gentlemen, you have an obligation to go deeper. The legal obligation is supposed to be part of the rudiments of your practice, of your knowledge in practice. You are taught veterinary jurisprudence. I don't know why, after all this teaching and talking, in the field, vets will come and be misrepresenting facts. They don't know the difference between the CVOM, the MVNM, and the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. If there's a problem that's supposed to be solved by Veterinary Council of Nigeria, they will be sorting the CVOM. If there's a problem from the CVOM, they will be sorting the Veterinary Council, and even sorting the MVNM. Part of the legal obligation and risk is a risk. Go and study it well. Because if you don't work within the ethics and your legal entitlement, problem comes. It might consume you. I am here to make you believe that while in practice, and I've said it and I have to repeat, go and know our laws. Our major law came in 1969, signed by General. And when we are fighting for that law to change, to be updated, part of our strategy was to shout that that law was a close of war. In 1987, it was amended, Veterinary Surgeons Act. And originally, the members, lawyers, the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Education members, and vets. But now we have a whole and entire law meant that every member of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria must be a vet. By the time we elected him, the vice president we elected him. But originally, the chief executive of MVRI, Nigerian Veterinary Research Institute, used to be the executive director or chairman of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. But now it's more robust because it's competitive. Then, after 1987, there's a sub-amendment, and I have said it openly. When that sub-amendment came, people thought because of the problem I have with the directors of health services, I was the one who went to the National Assembly to scrap that issue. But I have told anybody who cares to hear that I am not part of that process. I never gone to National Assembly to remove anybody. But so be it. But you see, what I'm trying to tell you today is that as you are registered, as entrenched in those laws I'm just talking about, part of your discipline is that you must maintain your name, and your name, the registrar, keeps the register. You can see that I've seen a lot of people, when they have serious issues, serious documentation, to involve the registrar, to involve the council, when they rush back, their names are no more. And the process of keeping your name, and your name in the council and the register, it must be a process. Each year, wherever you practice, if you are private, there's a gazette on that. You must register your practicing premises. And then you register your license. We register your license to practice. If you're not part of that process, if everything happens to you, you are not accountable by the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. I am saying this. In 2003 to 2005, I was elected of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. In 2005 to 2013, in that subsequent orders, 5 years, 10 years, 2003 to 2013, with an interregnum of 2005. And now, this year, last year, I'm elected again. Just to make me a collegiate or as a referendum of my activities when I was the president of MPA, well recognized. I am, okay, in the process of, in the membership of the council, I'm the oldest member. From 2003, I've been in the council with an interjecting sport 2015 to 2025. Sorry, 2013 to 2025. So when I'm saying this, I know what I am saying. Being in the council, I've seen people rush to the council for one thing or the other, and their name is not in this register. And if your name is in the register, tell me what will happen. And then you are obligated under the ethics of the profession as a primus inter pares. Outside that, you are your own. You can be taken up at anywhere, from magistrate court to Supreme Court. Knowing that you are not your own, you are supposed to be regulated. You'll be called to the orders, and then you'll be corrected, because this body, when they continue to board, you need it at the board. We have attendant legal cases, Oyo versus wax and pharmacists. And one thing I always tell the pharmacists when they come and say that they must control veterinary drugs, veterinary pharmacy, because it's a pharmacy, I only just one argument. We put veterinary as an adjective. I said by 1 o'clock, I'm supposed to stop by 1:30. So so nobody can come here and cajole me. I know my rights. I work within my ethics. I can't stay here after 1:30. So don't shift me around. So when they ask me or build up an argument that pharmacy is pharmacy, I tell them, okay, that means medicine is medicine. Medical doctors are supposed to fight us for practicing veterinary medicine. Because when we are adding is veterinary, on top of it, we are not looking for human pharmacy. We are looking for veterinary pharmacy. And in that case, the medical doctors are not fighting us. Why should you fight us? Because there's still medicine, veterinary medicine. I don't want to discuss the matter with them who is an appeal court because it's sub judice. Once the matter is in court of competent jurisdiction, they call it res. Suppose lawyers who are here know what it means. You don't discuss it anywhere, or it becomes a criminal offense. So we are with them, with pharmacists on general, on the federal. And anytime a federal law collides with a state law, federal law takes superior density. The density, the weight of the law is on the federal, more especially when you are dealing with issues that are concurrent lists. Concurrent lists means issues that are shared, like agriculture, between federal government and state government. Exclusive lists like oil, no, not palm oil, that's the crude oil, is meant for the federal government, and then we have residual lists for parts, judicial affairs, and blah, 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 that runs back and forth. So since we are under concurrent, the Ministry of Livestock is under concurrent list. So if there's any law that states, because many states have their laws on this our practice. I know of Anambra, I know of Kaduna, I know of Oyo. Oyo have gone to court based on their state law and won the quacks and the pharmacists there. I even jailed a quack who was practicing veterinary medicine. So, and what my iPad, I'm saying it openly, they went and sold their practice to quacks at Idumota. Ito Gundare, in Idumota, just in front of Oba of Lagos. Go there, see one, they're using their certificate to cover them. That's one thing they want to do in veterinary medicine. They'll come and try, they'll come and you have to put their certificate. But you see, it's a legal issue and it's a thorny issue. And we are ready to go all the hell. The only thing I can discuss that because I was a member of the alternative dispute resolution, which the Federal Court of Appeal in their wisdom called for us to alternatively resolve it under the chairmanship of an appeal court judge. They were nowhere to be found. And we didn't call for that. It's the wisdom of our court of appeal that caused us that, because this is a government and government agency, according to them. And as God will have it, we all came. Professor Budibe led the group when he was alive, because the professor of jurisprudence. And I still mentioned in your jurisprudence, it's not for the gods are not to blame. What do I mean that the gods are not to blame? That you are not taught, meanwhile we are taught. The gods are not, they teach you these things in fact. And you're supposed to flow with it when you are outside. While I was MPMA president, a lot of things happened. Okay, the Animal Diseases Act, another act of 1988 for disease control, where the CBO, Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria, superintendents. That is the law for disease control. It is not law for professional regulation. It is the law to curtail the disease. That is, if anything like African swine fever when it came, avian influenza when it came, African horse sickness when it came, we were able to contain it. Because we have professionals. We are the first in Africa to contain avian influenza. We were the first in Africa, that's Nigerian bird, so that you know your quality, so that you know your quantity. If you know your quality, you're able to determine and stereotype your quantity. After diagnosing it as a first, we are the first to contain it in Africa. So when it comes to Nigeria, some of the abuses we have in this country and then porous borders, semi-border, Micheal, it will come. We will tell it will come. And I heard the women have had their meeting. You don't call them Dr. Mrs. or Professor Mrs. anymore. You call them Professor this or Dr. this. But when it comes to, I don't know. That's why you don't see Professor Mrs. here or Dr. Mrs. there. So what I am saying in effect is very simple. Know your law. And know the extent and the extent of your law. And walk within the ambit of the law. You will fear nobody. If you fall short of the law, like what I said the other time, one day, police carelessly arrested one vet. When we made calls, AIG, we have AIG, we have DCP, we have Assistant Commissioner of Police, and there must be some, and make sure that those in every state, Abia, there's supposed to be a veterinary policeman here, a veterinary doctor. So that if a recruit wants to deal with you, you tell them an Assistant Commissioner of Police is with you. You know, Nigeria is a hierarchical place. So when you know the legal issues, you know your right. Right of practice, right of the existence. So, as MPMA president, I am timing myself. I have 10 minutes more. Don't worry, don't worry to time. It was very difficult to update our law in Nigerian National Assembly. And as you are coming to the, as if to say you are at the last part of it, in the National Assembly, first reading, second reading, by the time you enter third reading, and the day they were slotting for third reading, something will just be voted. Matter of urgent concern. They will drop all the bills. What I did was I decided, don't flash out my eyes, young man. What I did, I called, you see, we operate in compartments, but we have areas of cooperation. If things are worked out, what these animal scientists were struggling with us, we have areas of cooperation, areas of interface. We should exploit it, but not on the platform of institutionalized robbery and professional gangsterism. So what I did was start looking for an international treaty. And I got one lady, Dr. Vivian Ewa, who works with ECOWAS. Got Bauer, Dr. Bauer late. Got Dr. Majash, Dr. Vivian Micheal, who sat down and had a roadmap. And that roadmap brought us to ECOWAS protocol, that the veterinary practice in terms of pharmacy should probably be supervised by veterinarians in all the countries all over the country, all over the West Africa. And they were signed after there was a convocation, because before the president meets, there are convocation of ministers of foreign affairs or their replica. They met and approved it. And then the president approved it. So now we have a general rule, which is a treaty. But when you have a treaty, it becomes mandatory. And that mandatory effect is that it's supposed to be domesticated by the various parliaments. And when we came here, Animal Diseases Act of 2022, Animal Diseases Act of 1988, amended in 2022, has domesticated that ECOWAS protocol. So, on that praxis, we have ECOWAS C Regulation 22A 1110, ECOWAS C Regulation 22B 11.10, Establishment of Veterinary Pharmacy in West Africa. So that one is an activity as an external rule. So I plead with the lecturers, let them dig out our laws, because our laws are coming up. We have, as we speak now, don't worry. As we speak now, we don't have law guiding our teaching hospital. We don't, the College of Vet Surgeons is subsumed under the Veterinary Surgeons Act by the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. We need separate laws. So you see, life is dynamic, so laws are dynamic. You can't put up law in the 20th century and magic in the 1st century, and it becomes extant and becomes meaningful. So as we speak now, you might amend the bill, you start an act, and then the vet teaching hospital. Teaching hospital, just unlike a medical, and we will not be happy that a veterinary teaching hospital, we want a demand, semi-autonomy, like what is happening now is a federal medical center. We want to have federal veterinary centers all over the country, at least one per state. I wrote a memo to the Agri Council. They approved my memo, said let's start with 6 in the geopolitical epicenters. Up to today is neither here nor there. So that we can have a sustaining effect of the pressure of the animal health when we want to have livestock revolution. It's not you go and have a ministry of livestock, but you should have a sustaining and upholding facilities that should support it. 95% of egg powder we bring in cocoa beverage industries are from abroad. 99% of milk we take into this country are from abroad. We are paying salaries of a worker in Poland. We need to domesticate our activities and look at our area of need. But one thing is that you have your area of need in livestock industry and security concern, we have security law. But we need to have facilities that will assist the health. Because without health, they will give you all those things you want, those products you want. If you have a dog in the house, it might suffer from aphonia because you are not feeding it well, you are not taking care of the house. You come back when the thieves come, if their health is not. Then you have a hen, produce egg, it will give you egg if you have health concern. But we should have institutionalized our laws, institutionalize our facilities so that the pressure of population explosion, our population is not regulated. I had somebody had 3 sets of twins and is trying to have another. The husband, the wife is pregnant again, maybe for another set. It's not regulated. That means our population will continue to amount. I have 3 minutes, Professor. Don't tell. You know, when I was telling you, and I always say it when I go, I'll finish with law. Let me, for 3 minutes, give you advice. Young men, you have to work hard for you to run your family to be good. In an Africa and Nigeria, be a rich man. So that you bring a wife home, if you bring 1 naira, she will give you 1. If you bring millions, you know that kissing is sweet. Are you hearing me? And then for you who looking for husbands and wives, open your eyes. Lord is blind, but you have eyes. See my eyes. I'm not blind, and my name is not Lord. On that note, I end with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. The College of Veterinary Medicine will always invite him and keep on inviting him because he has spoken. Know your quantity, and above all, know your law. At this time, I'll be handing over the microphone to Dr. Njoko to continue with the administration of